Alright, you lot. Microsoft just hiked prices of Xbox consoles in the US, fired 9,000 devs, and shoving AI into every crack like it's bloody duct tape. They're charging you more while doing less, pretending it's progress. Games are getting shallower, studios are vanishing, and dev talents are being replaced by algorithms that wouldn't know soul if it punched them in code. You think you're paying for innovation? You're paying for redundancies and reskins, all while Phil's polishing his Copilot with one hand and flipping you off with other. And if you think this stops with console prices, I've got a Galaxy Black Edition to sell you. Only $70 more expensive but privilege of fuck all new. This into next gen leap. It's a next gen lie. So let's talk about price hike first, because it stinks worse than a pub carpet in July. Xbox Series X went up by $50 bloody in the US. Galaxy Black Edition, 70 extra. For what? Splash of glitter and corporate bollocks. They're not adding features, not bundling extras, not giving you jack, just a price tag climbing like Phil Spencer's ego. They blame tariffs and microeconomic factors like we're too thick to see through smoke. You don't get more power, you don't get better build quality, there's no hardware refresh, no faster SSD, no boost to cooling. Same plastic, same parts, just bigger dent in your wallet. You pay more for the same box that couldn't sell 6 months ago. And they did this twice this year. May what Wamo. Now they're going full shaft. Controllers? Up. Accessories? Up. Storage? Don't even get me started. It's like they sat down and said, how much can we raise price aboard the riot? And best part, they're not even pretending it's about quality. There's no apology, no breakdown of costs, just a blank face with adjusted pricing. Adjusted like it's a bloody thermostat. You adjusted it straight into piss tech territory, lads. They don't care how it affects you, they know the brand's got weight. So they're banking on fanboys defending it while restorers get bent over at Series X and told to smile. And here's what really slaps. These hikes aren't coming in a vacuum. They're not raising prices to save a sinking ship. They just laid off 9,000 people, cancelled major titles, shut down studios. They're cutting costs everywhere else, trimming fat, slashing payroll, and yet they've still got bollocks to charge you more. It's not about survival, it's about squeezing lemon until there's no left but rind. They're not investing in platform, they're bleeding it dry and wrapping it in PR fluff. And if you're sat there still defending them, you're not a fan, you're a customer they've trained to love boot. And let's dig into layoff bloodbath, because this wants some quiet restructure or tidy reshuffle. This was full on cult. 9,000 staff gone, all teams gutted, games axed mid-dev like they were never more than a marketing pitch. Perfect Dark, dead. Initiative, shattered. Everwild, vanished. That MMORPG codenamed Blackbird, shot in face before it had a trailer. They spent years hyping this shit. Leaked concept art, dev diaries, fake optimism. And now, poof, gone. Lights turned off and studio doors slammed shut. This wasn't just trimming fat, this were buttering muscle. Artists, engineers, QA, writers, actual lifeblood of a game studio. People who spent years building guts of a project now out on their asses while execs blame strategic realignment like it's a stock portfolio, not people's lives. And cherry on this shit cake? All this happened while Microsoft were doubling down on AI, pushing Copilot into every crevice, making it mandatory for staff, shoving it into workflows like it's second coming. Not a coincidence, not even subtle. You think this is about progress? It's about profit margins. Cut humans, automate process, raise prices, and call it innovation. That's formula. And industry's swallowing it all. No pushback, no union fire, just influencers slurping PR juice and gamers stuck between apathy and Stockholm Syndrome. Microsoft's turned dev talent into disposable cogs, then flipped switch and told AI to fill gaps. And if you're wondering where budget went, it didn't go into polishing the next big hit, went into shareholder smiles and server costs. Cause AI don't ask for holiday pay, AI don't unionise, AI don't cry when projects get cancelled. But you know what else AI don't do? Make art, create magic, pour soul into a scene that punches you in gut. That comes from people they just sacked, and you're still meant to pay 70 bloody quid for the final product. But let's drag AI into the spotlight, because this ain't some harmless sidekick helping out in the background. This is Microsoft's golden goose, and they're betting all farm on it. Internally, they made Copilot mandatory. Every Microsoft staffer is being force-fed AI like it's 5 a day veg. And don't think for a second it stops at spreadsheets. This bleeds straight into game dev, quietly, slyly, and without any real oversight. AI ain't just fixing typos or running playtests, It's already doing art passes, voice lines, quest logic, even dialogue trees. You think that NPC just sounds off because of bad writing? Nah, that's a bot guessing what a human sounds like, and missing by a bloody mile. And while indie devs are using AI just to survive, to plug gaps, fill in for artists they can't afford, get something playable built, Microsoft's using it to replace old roles and still charging full fat AAA prices like there's 100 devs behind curtain. With its polish, with its soul. They're reusing old assets like it's clever, slapping new textures on legacy maps and calling it a feature. It's not nostalgia, it's laziness wrapped in marketing bow. You're paying more for less effort, less risk, less creativity. And when it don't land, they blame engagement metrics and shelf it. Or worse, they patch in more AI guesswork like it's going to fix all their center. This is new lie. They say AI lets them make games faster, cheaper, smarter. But what they really mean is they can make them blander, safer, with fewer people asking awkward questions like, should this game actually be fun? AI is not there to help developers, it's there to replace them. And execs are fine with that, because AI doesn't have a voice to complain when game bombs. It just spits out another asset pack and keeps quiet. Now here's punch that lands in ribs. Broken promise to bloody players. Because this old model, this greedy carousel of price hikes and dev layoffs and AI-driven slop, spits directly in face of what gaming were meant to be. You remember what it felt like to pay for a game that blew your socks off? Full worlds, tight combat, dialogue that didn't sound like it were ripped from a fridge magnet. Now look at what you're getting. Live service slogs with Lifespanner and Mayfly and Solar at conference call. Gamers used to pay more for quality. That was unwritten deal. More money meant more time spent, bigger dev teams, sharper polish, actual fucking QA. But now you're paying 70 quid for an asset flip with a day one patch that's bigger than game itself. You're paying to be a beta tester in early access dressed up as full release. You're paying for AI-generated filler stitched together by skeleton crews who are just trying to avoid next axe swing from above. And if you dare to complain, if you point out that this new 70 quid game is just Last 'em but with a loot system and shinier grass, you're called entitled, toxic, out of touch. Now mate, I've been playing games since before half these publishers had pubes. I know what effort looks like. And this ain't it. This is lazy. This is exploitative. This is industry treating players like credit cards with thumbs. We're not asking for miracles. We're asking for games to be made by people who gear toss, not spreadsheets optimised by some bloody chatbot. We're asking for fair value, for effort to be visible, for price to mean something. And if execs can't be asked to uphold that, then we've got right to call it what it is, a scam with a logo slapped on it. And here's where devs and suits both need a slap of reality, because this rot ain't just screwing gamers, it's gutting future entire bloody industry. You can't fire your best minds, cancel your most hyped projects, shove AI into gaps, and still expect loyalty from creatives who built your empire. Devs are watching the mates get canned while AI code generators get promoted. Imagine pouring 5 years into a game only to have it scrapped by a bloke in a tie who thinks ChatGPT can do your job for free. That's climate now. Fear, burnout, silence. And investors? You lot might be grinning today watching cost margin rise and HR budgets plummet, but keep your eyes open. This ain't growth, this is cannibalism. You're not scaling, you're strip mining. And when well runs dry, when trust evaporates and players finally stop pre-ordering your mediocrity, all you'll be left with is a brand that no one believes in and a back catalogue full of unfinished promises. You can't AI your way out of reputation damage. You can't spreadsheet your way out of artistic bankruptcy. Because see, it's truth. Creative talent talks. Devs are watching. Indie studios are watching. Hell, even gamers who never touch Twitter are starting to notice cracks. And once that faith's gone, you don't get it back with a trailer and no apology. You can raise prices, slash teams, automate pipelines all you want, but second your games stop feeling made, players stop paying. Not out of protest, out of boredom. Industry wasn't built on risk avoidance. It were built on chaos, vision, raw bloody ideas that shouldn't have worked but did. And now you're killing that spirit with AI templates and quarterly reports. Keep going this way and you won't just lose money, you'll lose medium. Here's real kicker. Belief flip. One truth that slices through all PR fluff and influencer dribble like a machete through wet cake. You thought paying more meant better games. You thought higher prices meant bigger teams, deeper stories, groundbreaking tech. But what if I told you that's bollocks now? What if I told you that in 2025, paying more just means you're funding layoffs, fueling AI tools, and bankrolling execs who don't even play shit the green light? That 70 quid you dropped, it didn't pay for voice actors, it didn't go to artists, it didn't fund QA teams or world building or balance testing, it lined pockets and kept share price warm. That collector's edition, one with plastic statue and early access that just means broken access, that's reward for loyalty now, cheap tat and buggy launch. And all while they're hiding behind buzzwords, innovation, adaptability, AI-assisted creativity. Nah mate, that's just code for we sacked half at studio and let an algorithm fill gap. And you felt it, didn't you? You played sequel that felt like a content update. You bought deluxe edition that came with microtransactions. You saw credits shrink and glitches grow. You knew. You know. This ain't gaming evolving. This is gaming bleeding out behind a paywall while execs clap themselves on back for cutting corners. You don't need to be a dev to smelt rot. It's in games. It's in menus. It's in silence after hype. And unless we start calling it what it is, greed dressed up as progress, it'll keep getting worse. Cause they're not gonna stop, not while we're still paying. So here's the deal, plain and ugly. Microsoft's not investing in future gaming, they're cashing in on its decay. They're gutting studios, replacing devs with bots, and slapping price hikes on hardware like it's gourmet tech. But it's not, it's leftovers, cold, dry, overpriced leftovers. And if we keep swallowing it, they'll keep serving it. It's on us now, gamers, devs, everyone who gives a toss about what medium used to mean. Push back, speak loud, spend smart, and stop letting corpos piss on your wallet while telling you it's immersive innovation. Join Discord, follow and X, links are in the description. Consider a channel membership if you're sick or influencer fluff and want unfiltered truth straight from gut. Smash like it, subscribe, drop your comments and questions below. Just be ready, I bite back. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.